The Florida Panthers will be facing off against the Vegas Golden Knights in the Stanley Cup Final. Both of these teams had an interesting journey to get to the Stanley Cup Final, and we'll start off with the Florida Panthers, beating the Boston Bruins, who had a historic regular season in Game 7, and then going on to win against the Toronto Maple Leafs in 5 games, and coming out with a clean sweep against the Carolina Hurricanes. This underdog story is one to watch. The Panthers barely got into the playoffs by getting into that second wildcard spot, but ever since getting hot towards the end of the season, they have been on a massive tear, and the rise of Sergei Bobrovsky has taken them the distance. Let's talk about the Vegas Golden Knights. They had an easy first round against the Winnipeg Jets, beating them in 5 games, and then they faced off against the Edmonton Oilers, who were massively favored, and beat them in 6. One thing that has stood out about Vegas through their playoff run is their great defense. And then when they faced Dallas, while it did go to 6 games, they'd have a good 3-0 series lead and were pretty much in control of this series all the way through. Just like for the Florida Panthers, the Vegas Golden Knights have been getting spectacular goaltending from Adin Hill, and without him rising to the occasion, they wouldn't be as far as they are. Those are the journey of both of these teams. Let me break down each one, and I'll start off with the Vegas Golden Knights. This has been the coming out party for Jack Eichel in 17 games played, 6 goals, 12 assists for 18 points. He's a point per game player, but when you watch him play on the ice, the way he has great puck control, takes over the game in moments, he is worth every penny of that $10 million. And he's only 26, so he's going to keep getting better. And after having such a serious procedure done, we're starting to see the Jack Eichel of old. But it's not just him. You're getting quality scoring throughout this whole lineup. Marchessault has 17 points, Barbashev has 15, Stevenson has 14, Stone has 15, Carlson and Smith on your third line have 14 and 11 points respectively. The great thing about the Vegas Knights offensively, they're getting the depth. And some people claim that they don't have that superstar. I would argue Jack Eichel is in that conversation, especially after this postseason. But they get it done by committee, and that's what you need to go this far into the playoffs. We talked about the offense. Well, let's talk about the defense. And this is one of the main reasons why they have gone this far. They arguably have the best third pairing in the NHL with Haig and Whitecloud, but Martinez, Pietrangelo, McNabb, and Theodore are all quality and make it very difficult to get sustained offensive pressure in their zone. And even when you get that occasional odd man rush, their quality defensemen take away time and space. The great thing about this decor is while they are locked down defensively, they also do contribute offensively. They really do get a lot of scoring by committee. But let's talk about the star of this team through this postseason run, Adin Hill. Bounced around from Arizona to San Jose, seemed like he would never fulfill that potential people talked about, but in 11 games played, he has a 2.07 goals against average, a .937 save percentage, and a 7-3 record. He has come into his own and is playing up to that potential people have talked about for years. He's been a lot of fun to watch. Well, it won't always be pretty. He just finds a way to keep the puck out of the net. And he's one of the main reasons why they have gotten this far. That's the Vegas Golden Knights. Let's talk about these Florida Panthers. As stated in the video, they are on a historic run. And one of the reasons is they are also getting good depth scoring. But offensively, the star of the show has been Matthew Tkachuk, who I would actually have to argue at this point is a little bit underpaid at 9.5. 16 games played, 9 goals, 12 assists, for 21 points. He is the top point scorer for both teams in this series. But it's not just Tkachuk. Verhaeghe and Barkov have 15 and 14 points. Bennett has 11. And Reinhart has also contributed on the third line role with 11 as well. And just like with Vegas, you're getting quality depth scoring throughout this lineup. And let's get into the defense. The defense, just like with Vegas, is very stout. Forsling, Ekblad, Stahl, Montour, Mahura, and Gudas, they are a very good decor that do take away time and space and make life a little bit hectic on you. The leading point scorer from the point for them would be Montour, and he has cooled down a bit since his torrid start, but he's still out there very effective in eating up monster minutes, leading time on ice for the Florida Panthers with 27 minutes and 35 seconds. And someone that might get a little bit overlooked on the decor might be Gudas. While he's not going to blow you away offensively and he's not like the most amazing D-man in the world, he plays a physical game that does wear down his opponents. And let's get into the goaltending. Sergei Bobrovsky. He took his job back from the hot Alex Lyon in 14 games played, a 2.21 goals against average, a .935 save percentage, an 11-2 record. Bobrovsky is living up to that $10 million cap hit. This is the type of production you need from your goaltender that you're investing that much money into. And through times throughout the Florida Panthers run, he has single-handedly won them games because of how good he has played. He'll make the routine, but the spectacular saves and the numerous amount of times he has bailed out his defenders is just amazing to watch. So what is my prediction? Well, my predictions, I predicted both teams right in the conference finals, but not the games. But I do think this time the series will go to 7. When I look at the way both of these teams are constructed, they're very similar. Good offenses that get depth scoring, very solid decors, and they're getting great goaltending. This is kind of a coin flip for me. I could say either team and truly mean it. I love defensively the amount of block shots I'm seeing from Vegas. With Florida, I love their mentality, whether they're up a goal, down a goal, tied. They're just going to find a way to win these games. That being said, I am going with the Florida Panthers in 7 games. I would argue, not saying everyone's road to the Stanley Cup Final is easy, Florida has been far more battle-tested. If you look at who they played Boston, beat them in 7. They beat Toronto in 5 and then ended up sweeping the Carolina Hurricanes. Those 3 teams were some of all the best in the NHL. And with Matthew Tkachuk and Bobrovsky being the stars they have been in this postseason, I don't see that changing. But it's going to be a hard-fought series. There is going to be no blowouts, at least in my opinion. Both of these teams have good decors, good offensive production, and spectacular goaltending. While not the sexy picks some people really want, this is going to be some great hockey to watch. 2 teams with very similar styles just going at each other's throats. I'm excited for game 1 on Saturday. But that is my prediction. I would love to know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Who do you think will win this series and how many games? I'm Captain Paul, and I'll see you in the next one.